Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Holloway's Garage. We had a little bit of a long break, but I'm back working on this truck. I got jammed up with work and everything. But basically, I'm gonna do a few things on the fuel system right now, real quick. I don't have a ton of time tonight, but I was just gonna walk you guys through of what I did personally. I mean, there's a bunch of different ways you can run fuel lines on these things, but as long as you get fuel to them, they'll run. So I'll just show you what I did. I still have to hang the tank and everything, which I'll do that another night. I'll just walk you through real quick what I did, hooking up the fuel rail and all that kind of stuff. So let's get into it. So we're back at it again. I'm gonna get the mounting brackets off of this tank and toss it outside. I'll pull the hoses off, clean them up, and just reuse them on the other tank. There is some fuel in here, so I didn't want to use a torch on this, so I'll use the cutoff wheel, and we'll see. Hopefully we won't blow this thing up. Then there's a few this one's got a plastic shield on it. Not all of them have it, and I think they kind of feel like they just promote rust because moisture sits in between the plastic and the steel tank. But I think we're gonna have to unbolt it, or actually, that might just be bolted to the straps. Yeah, then it's just bolted to the bracket. So we'll just lift this out. It's kind of heavy. Give it a shot. It's probably got a half tank in there. She's pretty crusty down in there. So we'll just clean that out. I think I'll probably just get rid of the plastic shield on this because I don't see any benefit to it, honestly. It probably would keep rust and stuff from shooting up and hitting the tank and getting stuck on it, maybe. But they don't use salt on the roads. I'm not ever gonna use this truck when it's raining or snowing or anything. So we'll just cut the rest of these brackets off and put a new set of straps on here. I'll probably I'll grind down all this rust, and I might just spray this up real quick, and then throw the new tank on them, and we'll be ready to install it in the truck. So the other trucks I've had, they didn't go, the bracket was just here and there was a strap. They didn't have this outside bracket that I remember. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna cut this, and the only way I can get this strap off and replace it is to get this apart anyway. So what I'll do is just cut, there's a little weld here on each side, I'll cut that off, and then just use it like I had it in, I think it was a 70, it was my 74 I had, and it didn't have that plastic covering. I'm not using the shield anyway, so I might as well cut it, and just, the strap just does the job anyway. You don't need this outside piece right here. So I tried to beat it apart, pry bar, it didn't work, so I'll just cut this with a plasma cutter. Back to Holloway's Garage. So today we're going to work on the fuel system on this C10. I finally got the parts in the mail that I needed, so we can get back on it. All I'm going to do is pretty much just hook up the new tank and the new fuel pump, sending unit, and just run lines up to the front to the fuel rail, and I'll walk you through and just show you what I did. I mean, there's a bunch of different ways you can do this. This is probably the easiest way, just using soft line, but I'll show you what I got going on. Alright, so pretty much all I'm going to do, I'm just running the line from the rails here, and I just use the, I had some of these laying around from my 2001 that I had to replace the fuel lines on. So I had a bunch of these laying around, so I'm just using them. You don't have to, you can use anything you want. They have different fuel connections for this stuff, like AN fittings and all that, but I just use these. They just push right on and they self-lock and seal. And then I'm just running, this is just 6 AN line, and then I had some, I think it was 5/16 I had laying around, so I'm going to use that for the return line. And then I'll walk you around to the back. I have to run the return line back up here still. But yeah, pretty much you just run them. You just run them straight back to where you want. I'll end up zip tying them along the frame rail. Pretty much how the hard lines are ran, the same routing. And I am gonna keep I think I'm just going to keep the vent line because, let me see, these things are rough, but I think I'm going to keep the vent line that runs back to the canister out front, just because it's already ran, and that's a pretty simple way to do it, and make sure it vents well. I guess I could just run a short one and just run a vent somewhere on the near the filler neck and all, but this is ran already, so that's probably the easiest route for me. So we're just gonna put the we'll bring the tank over and we'll pop this on too and strap it up, and then it should be one step closer, and then all I got to do is put fluids in it and hook up the harness, which I have it here all labeled up, ready to go. I have to figure out a place to mount this, so I'll probably take that jack out, even though, I mean, it's cool to have the original jack, but it takes up a lot of room, and I could just stick the ECU and everything probably just right in here and be done with it. So let's get the fuel lines hooked up real quick, and then we'll be one step closer. Alright, so both fuel lines are ran. I put some plastic sheathing on it when it went underneath, just where it's going to be up against the frame and close to the headers and everything. It's probably not necessary, but I had some laying around, so I figured I might as well use it. Alright, and then all I did, just ran them right through here. Just have to take out a piece of the whole cross member. Set that unbolted real quick. But I'm just gonna zip tie it to the inside of the frame rail, and it's just gonna run the same way the original one, the hard lines ran. I'm just gonna leave the hard lines in there for now, and I'll pull them out eventually and clean them. I mean, not clean them, but just to clean this up once when I get ready to blast this frame and everything. Alright, so we're gonna replace, I have the new straps for this thing. You just have to grind out these rivets, and you can put bolts through it, or you can weld it if you wanted to. Whatever kind of works for you. I'm probably just gonna put bolts through it and call it a day. But first, we're just gonna grind these rivets off, and then punch them out, and then we'll probably just clean the holes up and put some bolts through it, call it a day. Alright, we got one off. It actually might be easier, now that I'm looking at it, just to lay the other one over. I'll clean that up, and I'll just weld another one on. That'd be the easiest route, I think, than drilling this and running to the store to get bolts. So let's do the other one now, and we'll weld it up. I just welded those where the rivets would be. I just welded them up, and simple as that. The tank's strapped up. like they're two different heights, so I got them backwards. Wasn't even paying attention to that. So obviously the shorter one will go in the front here. I guess it's not that obvious if I didn't see it. And a longer one here, hopefully. Looks like the straps are two different lengths too, which I don't understand. Better double check that, huh? Too late, I already welded it up. And it looks like this one is slightly longer. So looks like I'm gonna have to cut my welds and then swap straps. So that's a learning experience for you guys and myself. Put the shorter strap on the shorter bracket, and you'll be okay. But at least I didn't weld it fully up. It's just those three little areas, so I'll just grind them down and re-weld it. Decided to cheat. I just broke the rivet that was on this and just extended it that extra 2 inches really, and now it's long enough, so it saved me the time of cutting both of them up, and even though this shouldn't have taken this long, but you know how it goes. Everything that takes a few minutes is going to take you hours. So got the fuel lines ran, which is just right here. They run right to the top of the fuel tank, and then I've got power to the fuel pump here, and I just have, this is temporary for now, just have them all ran, and then I'm just running a fuel filter, just a Wix filter, and they just run right up to the front and roll right up through here and to the fuel rail, which you can't really see it, but it's all through there. And that's that basically for the fuel system. And let's see, for everything else I just have to get the starter in, and that's all basically. Also have the new fuel tank in, with the straps and everything. These rusty old straps, but they serve their purpose. And then I don't know why, but in my last video I didn't record this, so basically I just welded where the rivets are, and where the old rivets were, and the new straps slid right over top of where those old rivets were, so it was good to go. But that's it. And then the fuel lines, simple, just ran through here for now. I have the drive shaft shortened, just waiting on a U-bolt or a U-joint, and then I have to mount this. I have to make a bracket that will hang off this cross member, and it should be ready to go.